Lukumi Villegas sends it in. Has it backed out. A nice defensive play there by Javier Mia. In the starting lineup tonight, we've seen him come off the bench in the previous two Med City home matchups. And we apologize if you're watching the stream, which was down for a moment. We had some technical issues, but we are back 6 minutes in here. No score. And we hope the stream stays strong here. Tech dependent on RCTC's Wi-Fi. Appreciate them letting us use their facilities, of course. As Med City will regain possession here after the last touch by Duluth. And a lot of grabbing already by members of the Duluth squad. They're looking for a physical matchup here. And we'll see if Med City is up to the challenge. So that one sailed over the head of Claudio Repetto. 2 home matchups this season. Claudio Repetto has scored 3 goals and helped out on 2 assists. So early on this season, he has been a valuable member of the Mayhem as Nate Levy gets ready for the goalie kick.
Today's game is presented by Subaru of Rochester. Subaru of Rochester is a proud sponsor of Med City FC. For all your new and used car needs, check out Subaru of Rochester, helping you love what you drive.
So Med City works to get it across midfield here. Don't be surprised if this match is low scoring tonight. Again, last year, a 1-1 draw up in Duluth and a 1-0 victory for Duluth here in Rochester. That being said, Duluth has had no issue scoring goals here in the early going. They had a 3-3 draw to open their season in conference play, and then they defeated LCRS 7-1 on Saturday, and so they got to share the wealth much like Med City did. You remember it was a 5-1 victory for the Mayhem over LCRS, and so the squad from La Crosse off to a tough start as that's tipped out of bounds. 8:45 gone here in the first half. Still no shots on goal for either team. So far feeling each other out here. As Raisler dribbles it up and then reverses course. Nice pass on the far side of the field to Midat Mujic. And then he mishandles it. Back the other way, Liam Moore with it for Duluth. And they'll slow the pace a little bit here. Pass finds its way to Garcia Castro. Over to Lukumi Villegas. And Duluth showing some patience here as he backs it out to Ryan Tyrer. Duluth trying to bait Med City here into gambling a bit and cutting off some passes, and then they send one from midfield all the way out of bounds.
Quick Trip stores sell only top-tier gasoline. Top-tier gasoline contains a higher level of cleaning detergent, which improves engine performance. Using top-tier gasoline ensures a higher standard of gasoline for your car. It cleans your engine while you drive, helping your car run smoother, longer. Another fresh idea from Quick Trip.
Ten minutes gone here in the first half. Neither team with a shot. A lot of action at midfield here in the early going. And another pass sails far beyond any attacker. This time it's Med City. That was Andrew Wilkinson sending it out of bounds from beyond midfield. So Jan Hulfelner will put it back into play here. Walking it up. Very patient attack thus far for Duluth. Dana Kowacek near side. Defended nicely by Andrew Wilkinson, and Wilkinson does eventually take it away. And then it's booted out of bounds. So Lukumi Villegas will send it in. Deflected right back out by Wilkinson. Wilkinson, a very pesky defender here, especially these last couple minutes. And the takedown. That was Raisler getting in there. Can't see the number of who took him down. Looks like it was Dana Kowacek.
Med City FC is pleased to have Advocare as the team's official hydration provider. Advocare products, including Spark and Rehydrate, will help ensure the team achieves top performance before, during, and after games throughout the season. For more information on Advocare and its full line of products and their benefits, contact Terry Paulson at 608-397-2501 or visit www.championsinc.info. Advocare is proud to support Med City FC and its efforts.
"13 minutes have passed here in this first half. Both teams still looking for their first shot on goal. A defensive look here in the early going. And another pass well beyond the reach, this one of Tiernan Talbot. And so Duluth will take over again deep in their own territory.
Get social with Med City FC at the game and share what's happening tonight with your family and friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat. And don't forget to hashtag Med City FC and 90 Minutes of Mayhem.
Hulfener sends it in across midfield. And heading it back is Javier Milla. Chasing it down is his brother, Ignacio Milla. And a left-footed shot deflects off a Med City defender. And falls safely into Nate Levy's waiting arms. I think that was Wilkinson there in the area again, blocking the shot with his body. Hit him in the midriff, and Med City goes back the other way as we approach the 15-minute mark of the first half. Javier Milla takes it away. And now Repetto, a give and go with Raisler. Raisler ahead to Neto. Dumping it off for Bloodworth. And they couldn't maintain it. Sent the other way, and Ignacio Milla cuts it up the far sideline. Stays with Duluth for the moment. And tipped out of bounds by Bloodworth.
U.S. Bank works hard to support their customers and our community. They are pleased to champion athletic programs that enrich the quality of life for everyone. You can count on U.S. Bank to serve you and to cheer on the spirit of teamwork from the start of the game to the final whistle. U.S. Bank is helping businesses grow, families thrive, and communities succeed here in Rochester and all across the country.
Raisler takes it away from Garcia Castro as they try to push here. Nice give and go with Neto, and Raisler can't get there in time. Hits the deck. Nice defensive play there by Cordell Hill of Duluth. Duluth trying to dump one past the defense, can't do so, and Med City takes over for a moment again. Hill will chase it down for Duluth. They pass it back to the keeper, Jan Hofelner. And booted ahead once again, and that will go out of bounds. Last touch on Duluth, Joe Watt. Couldn't chase it down. So another instance where Med City gets it deep in their own territory. Kind of wonder if the first team to make a mistake, commit a turnover, do something not so smart, could lead to our first scoring chance as Nicholas Raisler just took one off the shin or the top of the shoe below the shin guard. He is writhing in pain. He's going to stay out there. And Sora Wakabayashi has it far side. And booted back across midfield by the Med City defense. Raisler at midfield getting grabbed by Garcia Castro. Very physical look so far for Duluth. Who has it now? Kowacek, far side, pass up ahead. Nice touch pass to Liam Moore. Can't get there in time. At least not before Ignacio Mia slides it out of bounds. Kowacek will send it in. Far side. No, he won't. He'll give way to Wakabayashi, the funnest name to pronounce all season long. It's Vladislav Margolin. Tries to center it, and that goes wide right. I think Liam Moore got a head on it. And they're saying last touch by Med City, so a corner kick upcoming for Duluth. So here comes the left-footed attempt, and that one misses everybody. Out of bounds. And they're saying that was touched by Med City as well. Ryan Tyrer was in the area. So they'll now try it from the near side. Puts it up, headed out. Kept in front of the net. Another header by Tyrer, and that one hit the right post. Didn't look all that threatening from up here until it hit the post. And now Med City keeps it from going out of bounds, and a turnover and a takedown as Tiernan Talbot got horse-collared. And a yellow card will be issued to Sean Morgan.
Yellow card issued to number 7, Tiernan Talbot.
So a correction, that yellow card issued to Talbot, who looked like he was the one who got taken down. Perhaps a little Dennis Rodman treatment out there. So a free kick coming from a pretty opportune spot here for Duluth as they send it in. Deflected away immediately. Margolin tries to keep it close to the net, and it's deflected back out once again. Repetto nearly takes it away, and now does. Nice play there by Claudio Repetto.
That excellent defensive play brought to you by Subaru of Rochester. Defend your vehicle against wear and tear by stopping in for any preventative service or maintenance. Expert technicians, friendly service. Subaru of Rochester. Love what you drive.
So Med City on the defensive. They have to pass it back to Nate Levy. He tries to clear it. Kept in by Sean Morgan. Soro Wakabayashi passes it out to Liam Moore. And they work it around the perimeter until Repetto comes in and takes it away again. And another big push that goes unnoticed by the officials. Repetto throwing his arms up in the air. Wondering if both sides are going to be allowed to be physical in this one or if just the guys in white. 21 minutes gone. And a nice save there by Nate Levy off the shot. I think that was Joe Watt who had the attempt. And Med City pushing up the...
We'd like to recognize more of our 2018 player-level sponsors for their support. Little Thistle Brewing Company, Sports Headquarters, MEP Associates LLC, NUPA Mediterranean Cuisine, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
About halfway through the first half here. As Med City gets ready to line up their first corner of the evening.
This corner kick is brought to you by $5 Pizza. Each time the Mayhem score on a corner kick in 2018, 10 lucky winners will receive a free pizza. Sign up for your chance to win as you enter the stadium.
Francisco Neto sending it in for Med City, up high and caught by Jan Hoffelner. So big number 44 in red popped right up and grabbed it for Duluth. And still no score. Closest thing Med City's had to a real threat thus far. Aside from about a 30-yard shot at the 10-minute mark by Francisco Neto. Near side, Joe Watt sends it across the field. Mujic can't intercept it. Now does as he tips it to Raisler, gets it back, gets pulled on. And now Javier Mia keeps it in the zone. Repetto receives the pass, goes to his left. And it's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Med City.
The Sawbones Army was founded in March 2017 as a small group of local individuals who are passionate about supporting Med City FC and continuing to grow our love of the beautiful game in Rochester. The purpose of the group is to create a rooting section for the club, complete with drumming, flags, scarves, chanting, cheering, and vuvuzelas. The group will also collaborate with our local supporters groups such as the American Outlaws to create events and activities year-round to continue growing our love of the beautiful game in Rochester. Check out the Sawbones Army on Facebook at Med City FC Supporters Group and join the mayhem.
"25 minutes gone here in the first half. Still no score. As both teams play patty cake at midfield once again. Repetto gets a pass off the turnover. Looking for a seam. They'll take their time with it here. Neto at midfield. Sends it up the right side, and it's whiffed on by Tiernan Talbot. Talbot in his first action this season, a local kid. Has had a couple rough breaks here in the first half with that yellow card that he received. And now sending one out of bounds as Andrew Wilkinson gets whistled there for taking out Dana Kowacek. Meanwhile, Francisco Neto working on the officials. Wilkinson heads it over to Nicholas Idapaulos. And it goes off him out of bounds. Duluth tries to get it in quickly. Joe Watt nowhere to go with it. And Idapaulos clears. Watt sends it in near side. Liam Moore chasing it down. Now Watt near side, defended nicely. Backs out to Lukumi Villegas. And Duluth very patient. They don't seem to panic. And as I say that, an errant pass by Ryan Tyrer goes out of bounds.
Thrivent Financial is a financial services organization that helps Christians be wise with money and live generously. For more than a century, we've helped our more than 2 million member owners make wise money choices that reflect their values, and we provide opportunities for them to be even more generous where they live, work, and worship. Call me, Nick Johnson, the voice of the Mayhem, at 507-226-5275 for a free consultation.
Med City working it in. Nicholas Raisler had it and then had it tipped out. And now Repetto with it, getting harassed. No whistle. It's been defensive. It's been physical. At times it's been ugly as we are close to 30 minutes gone here in the first half. The TV folks are here. I feel bad for them. They're still looking for their first highlight 30 minutes in. I used to live in that world. They just want 2 plays, is all. It's been good action, however. These two teams obviously very evenly matched. They both expect to be towards the top of the standings by year end, so maybe that playing into the style of play thus far too, is neither team wants to make that first mistake. Idapaulos sends it up near side. And a nice pass up ahead. Joe Watt with it, tries to reverse field. Nobody there except for Med City defenders. Mirat Mujic, far side. Will look to get it across midfield. Has it tipped away by Sean Morgan for a moment, and then out of bounds, last touched by Med City. Wakabayashi passing it in quickly as they try to reverse field. And they do keep it in bounds, Duluth does. As Tiernan Talbot gets knocked down again, it's been Julian Lukumi Villegas a number of times just grabbing and pushing dudes and getting no whistle for it. There he is again, lowering the shoulder. This time he took out one of his own guys, Vladislav Margolin, as Francisco Neto has some space and some momentum. Neto, good defense there by Ryan Tyrer. stops the odd man rush. Med City works it in quick. Neto, far side, working hard. His way now. Bloodworth gets taken down, and it's eventually cleared by Cordell Hill. And Nate Levy came out to play that one. Didn't hit it cleanly, but doesn't cost Med City. It'll stay with Duluth. Ida Paulos sending it towards midfield. And out of bounds once again.
Grand Rounds Brewing Company and Restaurant is the official restaurant sponsor of Med City FC. Join your fellow Mayhem fans before the game for a bite to eat and to prepare for the game. Or come out to Grand Rounds with the team after the game to celebrate their victory. Grand Rounds will also be live streaming Med City FC's away matches, so be sure to come down and watch the Mayhem with us, even when they're not in town.
"32 minutes have passed here in this first half. No score. A defensive struggle thus far as that pass for Nicholas Idapaulos goes too far. We've seen that a number of times here in this first half as well. As Lukumi Villegas sends it in. Wilkinson giving a little shove to Dana Kowacek. And now it's Kowacek getting mixed up with Raisler. And the official starting to step in here. No card issue there, but Mad City will get a free kick. Francisco Neto will send it in. He has good accuracy. He can make it rain. So we'll see what he can do here. Neto chipping it in. Headed and tipped around. Last touched by Med City. Close call. But it'll be a goal kick for Duluth. As Duluth FC gets it across midfield. Bringing it in, Sean Morgan. Little room to work. Shot tipped and sent to the left. That was Dana Kowacek, rather. But last touch by Med City, so a corner kick upcoming for Duluth. Deep in the corner here, sending it in. The well-timed Vuvuzela. Levy able to make the save off the header. Got Mujic near side. Tried to tip it ahead to Francisco Neto. It was a little too strong once again. That goes out of bounds. 35 minutes have passed now in the first half.
Soccer World is a proud sponsor of Med City FC, offering youth and adult leagues, classes for kids of all ages, and space rental for birthday parties or other special occasions. Soccer World offers the ideal place for indoor soccer in Rochester. Check out their website at www.soccerworldmn.com or call them at 507-424-3018. Soccer World is also forming adult outdoor leagues for the 2018 summer season. Sign up to join today.
Far side, it's Finlay Bloodworth trying to walk it up and find something for Med City to work with here. As Raisler has it in the middle. passes to Mujic, who gets taken down. And again, the not me culprit, Julian Lacumi Villegas. So it'll be a free kick here for Med City. Neto on the right side. Try and set it up. Duluth leaving a couple defenders right in front of Neto. And he clears them both. Nice bend there. Header goes over the crossbar. It looked pretty, but the trajectory just wasn't quite right as it went high. Read the curve right, but we remain scoreless. 36.5 minutes into half number 1.
Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza is a proud sponsor of Med City FC. Get our delicious pizza at the Rochester, Zumbrota, and Lake City Farmers Markets this summer. Looking for something different for your next party? We cater private events and will bring our oven and a trailer right to your house. Look for our full-page ad in the game day program or go to firebrickbread.com for more information. Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza.
Shot by Repetto goes wide left as Med City, with a couple chances in a row here within the last 60 seconds, at least starting to poke some holes in that Duluth defense. No doubt this is a big one for Med City. Again, they're 1-2 to start conference play. A loss tonight would really put them at a disadvantage in the standings. And especially with their only win coming against LCRS, who we've seen in the past struggle to win a single match all season long. So if you look at that as the gimme, to be 1-3 after tonight would be a tough start for Med City. But Duluth always, well, the reigning North champs, as another shot gets caught by Jan Hoffelner. A win tonight for Med City would be equally meaningful. Duluth, the defending NPSL North Conference champions. And also the momentum of beating a team like this would go a long way for the Mayhem. As Mujic takes that one away from Sean Morgan. Passes to Repetto, over to Raisler. Raisler drops it off for Bloodworth. And Bloodworth gets taken down. The whistle does blow. Just outside the box. But still a pretty opportune spot for Francisco Neto to set it in. So Neto getting ready here. From that left angle, sending it right past the waiting arms of Jan Hoffelner. Hoffelner touched it though, so a corner kick upcoming.
Another corner kick brought to you by $5 Pizza.
Neto sends it in on the corner, tipped out of bounds, so they'll get to reset on the far side. That was Joe Watt getting up to bat that one away. And now Neto will head to the other end of the field and send it in once again, this time from the far side. So as a right-footed striker, a better spot for Neto to bend it in here. And he's shown already on a few occasions he can bend it. So here it comes for Neto. Stays in front of the net. It was tipped by Ida Paulos. And it stays in play. Duluth trying to take an advantage here. And, oh, man. Javier Mia is going to get a yellow card there for the takedown of Dana Kowacek. A lot of angst. That was right in front of the Duluth sideline. And Dana Kowacek is still down.
Yellow card issued to number 16 for Med City, Javier Mia.
So the second yellow card for Med City, that one on Mia, the first one on Tiernan Talbot, as we take a quick injury break.
Med City FC would like to thank all the sponsors who have come on board with us for our second season. Without the wonderful support of these community businesses, this wouldn't be possible. It's not too late to sponsor the Mayhem in 2018. Contact us at medcityfc@gmail.com for more information. Don't rush off after the game. Hang around and meet the team. Med City FC players will be signing autographs after the game, so be sure to get your programs or gears signed. And after the autograph session, come hang out with the team at Grand Rounds. Attention all RYSA players, please come down to the lower concourse for a halftime presentation.
We cross the 43.5-minute mark here in the first half. No score. A couple yellow cards, however, for Med City. As they crom across midfield, Nicholas Reisler tapped away. Out of bounds. It'll be inbounded near side by Ida Paulos. It's Reisler again. Giving way to Neto. Now Ida Paulos sending one towards the middle. And another nice catch by Jan Holfelner. Holfelner confident with those hands. We saw him catch a corner kick much like that earlier in the match. The defensive plays have been the highlights thus far as we approach the end of the first half. A tip out of bounds, that one off of Ida Paulos. And so Joe Watt sends it in near side. Liam Moore backs it right back and went straight out of bounds. And now near side, Nicholas Reisler. As Med City works it up the far side, we're into stoppage time. I can't imagine there will be much of it. There's just that injury to Dana Kowacek that took a couple minutes. And that's what we're going to get. 2 minutes of stoppage time.
2 minutes of stoppage time.
That one bounces all the way to Jan Hofelner. Duluth maybe with time for one more push here. Or for the Med City home crowd, they're hoping for one turnover. And Duluth playing it very conservative here. They seem content to go into the locker rooms tied here at half. As I say that, they make an aggressive push, which is intercepted by Med City, and Medat Mujic taken down. And look at all that grabbing again. Julian Lacumi Villegas. He has been grabbing all night long, and I'm hearing a few fans mention that as well. As Bloodworth, far side of Talbot. Talbot centering it. Neto is there. Tipped and gone out and grabbed by Jan Hofelner.
Would all the RYSA kids please come down to the lower concourse for the halftime presentation?
So we've reached halftime, no score, but a lot of action and a lot of physicality would be the word I'm searching for. We're going to take about a 15-minute break. We will be back for the second half here between Med City and Duluth.
good enough for a test?
Yeah, I'm waiting to find out.
Oh yeah, it's there. Is it clear? We should put it back.
Welcome back as we get ready for the second half of action here between Duluth and Med City. No score in that first half, but a lot of contact, a lot of physicality, a couple close chances for Med City, and a couple yellow cards for the Mayhem as well. This is a pivotal matchup as these two teams were up towards the top of the standings all last season. They expect to be there again as the second half gets underway here. Sean Morgan sending it way up the field. Nate Levy being a bit dangerous there as he came out of net, and a little confusion to start things off for Med City here in the opening seconds of this half. Sean Morgan sending it in. They tip it forward, and they were looking for Liam Moore, but a little too strong. Nate Levy grabs it, throws it forward onto the right side. Levy boots that one back towards midfield. As Med City tries to get it all the way across midfield for the first time. Midat Mujic, nice play. Gets it by Sora Wakabayashi, but then gives it right back. And that takedown is going to get called. And that's Dana Kowacek, who was down earlier. So this is the second time. Not saying he's acting, just saying now that he's completely okay. And here he is with the ball and a full head of steam. My 6-year-old does the same thing at home. So here comes Duluth up the near side. Out of bounds. Last touch by Duluth. Well, foul on the play on Duluth. As someone from Med City, I can't see his number, and I don't recognize the hairstyle enough yet to pick him out. But he's trying to get after the fans here. That's Javier Mia telling the fans to get up. Good turnout tonight. Nice night here in Rochester. It was a warm day. It was a little rainy this morning. Got humid and muggy, and eventually turned into a very nice evening for a soccer match. As that one's tipped away, Midat Mujic wanted to hear who touched it last. Instead of just chasing it down. And right now, Med City needs to leave the officials out of this and just play their game. Neto with it.
Handball.
And a handball not called. Duluth. It was a handball on Med City. So 3 minutes into the second half, Duluth will reverse course.
Orthodontic Health Center on North Broadway has been practicing for more than 25 years. Offering braces and Invisalign for both adults and children, Orthodontic Health Center offers free orthodontic consultations to assess your orthodontic needs. Dr. John Lawson has been a part of the soccer community for 25 years, and he is proud to be a sponsor for Med City FC. Call them at 507-282-6447 and schedule a free consultation today.
Sora Wakabayashi throws it in up the near side, and it's sent back by Ignacio Mia. And again, these two teams trade possessions around midfield. They're sticking to the script from a year ago, a 1-1 draw up in Duluth and a 1-0 win for Duluth here on this turf. And that only goal was scored 97 minutes into the match. Whiffing on that one was Moore. And so Finlay Bloodworth will send it in quickly for Med City.
Austin Aeroflight is a proud sponsor of Med City FC, offering everything from airplane rides and flight training to aircraft maintenance, storage, and refueling services. Austin Aeroflight is your one-stop shop for all your flying and aircraft needs. And one lucky fan will be winning a flight for themselves and 2 friends this season. Be sure to sign up for your chance to win at the registration table by the entrance. Check us out at austinaeroflight.com or call us at 507-433-1813.
So Med City playing a little shorthanded there for a moment as Ignacio Mia had a little blood, went to the sidelines, cleaned it up. He's back out on the pitch. As that one skies overhead and a high kick tipped around, bicycle kick by Bloodworth. And they're not quite able to get it out of there as Bloodworth rams into Wakabayashi. And they go right at it here. Kowacek, centering pass, intercepted. Back the other way comes Francisco Neto. And Neto getting grabbed on by Lacumi Villegas. Now works it around him. Far side, Tiernan Talbot. Looking for a seam, backs it out. Talbot, the left-footed pass. And another physical play. I think that was Claudio Repetto, who got taken down just outside the box. Correction, that was Javier Mia. And so Francisco Neto, for the second time tonight, will send one in from that right wing just outside the box. And again, Med City needing to ignore the officials here as that shot by Talbot gets tangled up out of bounds. Wakabayashi into the mix, and it was last touched by Med City. So they come away empty-handed once again. 52 minutes into the match. Still no score.
Do you want your new startup to hit the ground running with a multi-million-dollar look? Do you need help visualizing your next great idea? Fuse Digital Creative Services is the answer. Specializing in creative brand design, Fuse listens and works with you to set your company apart from the competition. Websites, print ads, brand systems, and huge wild ideas, that's Fuse, a proud sponsor of Med City Football Club.
Eight minutes into the second half, Med City has shown some grit here in the opening stages. And now another whistle as Sora Wakabayashi is going to get issued the yellow card. And Finlay Bloodworth picks himself up off the floor.
Yellow card issued at number 24, Sora Wakabayashi. Substitutions for Duluth, number 14, Nicholas Rayliff, and number 18, Ivan Adika.
So Duluth, the first team to go to the bench and bring a couple subs in. Don't be surprised to see Med City follow suit here soon. So Jan Hofelner sends it in. Duluth, very patient attack once more. Cordell Hill reversing field as they slowly matriculate it up the field. And now far side, Liam Moore. Little space to work. Cuts it towards the center. Kowacek can't connect. And Med City able to clear. Now Wakabayashi gets it by Mujic. Garcia Castro sends it towards the middle. Med City is there. And a whistle on Duluth. Med City will take over possession. Near side, Bloodworth trying to keep it in bounds. Just does. It's tapped away by Wakabayashi. So nice play there by Finlay Bloodworth. Minot Mujic gets ready to inbound. Med City will take their time to set some things up. And then Mujic passes to nowhere. He thought Netta was going to keep cutting that direction, and he did not. So 11 minutes gone. Here in half number 2. All knotted up, nothing apiece. And now Kowacek charging in, almost overran it, resets, kicks it with the left foot wide right. Levy was there and ready for it. Kowacek has good wheels and made a nice play back towards the center on Finlay Bloodworth. One of the better chances for Duluth thus far. They hit a post in the first half on a pretty weak header. The Med City keeps that challenge off the board with 12 minutes gone by here in half number 2.
Carpet Booth Studios is Rochester's premier recording and production studio for any of your music and audio needs. High-quality gear, treated spaces, trained engineers, and a warm atmosphere allow for any project to reach its full potential. Visit www.carpetbooth.com today for more information and to book a session.
Med City at midfield. Trying to get it a little closer here, but the midfield area has been where it's at as they pass it. And Mujic able to track it down. Sends it towards the center, but nobody there. Perhaps a little bit of fatigue here showing for Med City, and so Gracious Kasheki appears to be getting ready over on the sideline. And Kasheki does get ready to come in. I'm not sure if he's going to do it right here. Yep, he's coming in.
Substitution for Med City, number 11, Gracious Kasheki. In for number 7, Tiernan Talbot.
So Med City trying to find a spark here. 14 minutes gone by in the second half. And then they get whistled, so it'll be Duluth possession. Gracious Kasheki, the first substitution so far for Med City. They've had 18 dress for each match this season, and they've got a few other reserves they can go to if need be later on in the year. So I mentioned that depth. Duluth has it too. 18 in uniform here this evening. Another nice stop by Nate Levy. Ending the threat for the moment. As Mujic near side.
Substitution for Duluth, number 23, Gargad Noya.
Frank, who did 23 come in for?
So Duluth has now brought in 3 subs to Med City's 1. And we see it oftentimes in these matchups. The guys who sit out the entire first half can end up being the difference makers, as Wakabayashi has that long shot stopped by Nate Levy. Had a weird hop to it, though, so a good save by Levy nonetheless. Minat Mujic near side, sizing up the defense and walking it in. Gets it through some traffic. And now it's Neto near side. Going back to the middle. Finding Kasheki far right. Kasheki some nifty dribbling and then gets taken down. And looks to the official. Other matches, that might be a whistle, but not tonight. It's been physical from the start. And Kasheki, coming in off the bench, has only seen it. He hasn't experienced it yet. There's his baptism. "62 minutes into this match. Kasheki to Repetto. He's got some space. Puts off a left-footed attempt, and it's denied. Med City tries to keep it in the zone, and Neto got away with the handball there. So the threat ends for Med City, but at least they're staying aggressive. They've had their chances here in the early going of this second half. Another long kick, this one by Cordell Hill, gathered by Nate Levy.
Eat healthy on the go. Quick Trip makes it easy with fresh daily salads and sandwiches, healthy yogurts and cheeses, wonderful fruit cups, and an assortment of fresh fruits and vegetables. Fresh is the best, and Quick Trip is making it fresh for you.
Duluth with it at midfield as both teams catch their breath for a moment. Here comes Dana Kowacek. Speedy and then cut off by the Med City defense. And now Minat Mujic has his pass tipped away by a Duluth defender. Passed up ahead, Kowacek almost able to track that one down. He is speedy. Couldn't quite get there in time, so Med City will regain possession.
We want to take a moment to thank one of our great sponsors for today's game, Subaru of Rochester. Subaru of Rochester is your place for service as well as new and quality pre-owned vehicles. Stop in today and experience the upfront pricing and stress-free buying experience that we are committed to. Subaru of Rochester, love what you drive.
Last touch by Duluth out of bounds, so Med City inbounding. Mujic near side. Has some options. Repetto right next to him. Now flares off to his right. And another pass cut off by a Duluth defender. And they look to go up tempo here. Quickly the other way. And as I say that, Nicholas Rayliff whiffs on that one. So Med City will take over.
Substitution for Duluth, number 15, David Rice.
Mujic near side with some space to work. Trying to break through this Duluth defense. As that one's tipped out of bounds, last touched by Med City. Wakabayashi will send it in. Javier Mia there to cut it off. And now Claudio Repetto takes it away for a moment. Nicholas Raisler with it up top. Back over to Mujic on the left. Mujic. Big kick is caught in the chest by Jan Hoffelner, who sends it in quickly. Mujic likely getting a little frustrated. He's had room to work with at times tonight on that left side. But the passing lanes have just been cut off as Med City does the same on the other side. Andrew Wilkinson with a nice defensive play.
Every sponsor is vital to the success of Med City FC. We'd like to recognize our 2018 player-level sponsors for their support. The Rochester Post-Bulletin, Laser 101.7 and K-Fan, Futsal Collective, Mirror Digital Signage Solutions, and Med City Escape.
Halfway through the second half here, Nate Levy will pass it over to Ignacio Mia. And Mia gets knocked down near side. Santiago Garcia Castro came in hot, and so it'll stay with Med City. Mia just passes it back to Levy. Another chance for the Mayhem to catch their breath here. As Levy, to the sound of the drums, boots it away. And another substitution for Med City.
Substitution for Med City, number 26, Ali Fawaz, in for number 10, Midat Mujic.
Approaching the 70-minute mark of this match. No score. Wakabayashi walks it across midfield. And receives the pass from David Rice. Med City able to clear it out for the moment. Rayliff tries to keep it in. Can't. And now Raisler. Nice move. Getting by the defender. Neto gets behind the entire line of defense. Pulls it back. Nice move. Left-footed pass. Near side. Shot high for Claudio Repetto. Perhaps the best chance so far for Med City goes begging, and that's the connection they wanted. Neto to Repetto has happened at each home match this season. Third time would have been awfully charming. But we are still at 0-0. Well, Med City, no goals to show for it in this half, but they have definitely passed the eye test in terms of the more aggressive squad here in half number 2, playing their game a little bit more. The physicality of Duluth in that first half at times the Mayhem struggled a little bit with, but they found their way here in half number 2. Now they just need to find the back of the net. As they turn it over at midfield, Wakabayashi coming in, one-hopped, caught by Nate Levy. Levy, a very solid goaltender for Med City. Has been tested on a couple occasions tonight and so far has passed. As Med City forces another turnover, Neto running the point. Kasheki near side with some space to work. Nice moves. Kicks it with his right foot. Goes wide left. And another chance. Goes awry for Med City.
Global Sports Experience Network will be offering its Barcelona Way. For more information about the camp and to learn how to participate, be sure to visit www.gscnusa.com. The first 40 players to register will be entered into a drawing to win a Barcelona jersey signed by Lionel Messi.
Free kick upcoming here for Duluth, just inside of midfield. As they walk it in. And now a big attempt caught by Levy. Another good stop. All the shots this half for Duluth have come from long distance, and Levy has not let a bad hop or that extra space or bend get in his way at all. Kasheki with a swarm of Duluth defenders. Nearly had an opportunity there. Duluth able to handle it. As Ignacio Mia hits the turf for a moment for Med City after the whistle. And they call for the Med staff, so we'll take a quick timeout.
Mayo Clinic sports medicine experts help athletes to optimize performance, minimize risk, and recover from injuries. Mayo Clinic Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical and performance provider for Med City FC. Meet your goals by visiting sportsmedicine.mayoclinic.org. Substitution for Med City, number 17, Jared Woltz, in for number 6, Ignacio Mia.
So as Mia leaves the field, it's Jared Wolt coming in. We're 30 minutes into this second half, still no score. And Wolt gets challenged right away and missed. Now coming in was David Rice. Good defensive play there by Finlay Bloodworth. He tipped it out of bounds, so a corner kick coming up for Duluth. But he at least ends the breakaway. And it'll be Rice heading over to make the corner kick. Sending it in with the left foot. A lot of traffic in front. Headed out initially by Med City. Duluth resetting, going towards midfield. And now Rice all alone in the corner, sends it in again, but not before they call offside. So Med City will take over possession. 76 minutes into the match.
Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza is a proud sponsor of Med City FC. Get our delicious pizza at the Rochester, Zumbrota, and Lake City Farmers Markets this summer. Looking for something different for your next party? We cater private events and we'll bring our oven on a trailer right to your house. Look for our full-page ad in the game day program or go to firebrickbread.com for more information. Fire Brick Bread Wood-Fired Pizza.
Med City working it in. Gracious Kashecki gets the pass on the near side. Tries to bend it in. Had a man there. I think it was... Well, I can't quite tell who it was. I think it was Raisler. He was in there with a couple Duluth defenders. Duluth doing a nice job of crowding the box anytime Med City tries to send one in from distance. Wakabayashi near side directing traffic, sends it far and out of bounds. Gets in position and at least delays Duluth in getting the ball back. Kashecki near side. And another pass that's errant. It goes out of bounds. Duluth regains.
Grand Rounds Brewing Company and Restaurant is the official restaurant sponsor of Med City FC. Join your fellow Mayhem fans before the game for a bite to eat and to prepare for the game, or come out to Grand Rounds with the team after the game to celebrate their victory. Grand Rounds will also be live streaming Med City FC's away matches, so be sure to come down and watch the Mayhem with us, even when they're not in town.
"79 and a half minutes into this match. No score. Both teams clawing for an opportunity to poke a hole in the defense. Midfield, Nicholas Raisler sends one forward. Nice pass, but it was Ali Fawaz trying to head that one forward, just couldn't quite cut it back towards the center. So Duluth walking it up. And a pass up ahead. Garganaya. Not called for offsides. Big centering pass. It was touched by Nicholas Idapoulos. Whew. That was close. Nate Levy able to crab it. That one had us nervous up here for a second as a whistle and a yellow card issued to Santiago Garcia Castro of Duluth.
Yellow card issued at number 8 for Duluth, Santiago Garcia Castro.
Med City with possession. As Jared Wolt, a big booming kick from the back. And now Repetto near side, a little space to work. Tries to send it towards the middle, overshot a little bit. And it does go wide right. He had Kasheki there in the middle if he would have cut it shorter. But Med City's just been a smidge off in this second half. They've had their chances. They've outplayed Duluth in this half. But the score is still even. Wakabayashi. Up ahead to Naya. Right back. And now Joe Watt. Passing it towards the middle. Med City there. Rayliff resets. Passes one forward. It goes not out of bounds as Levy cuts it off. Just wanted to make sure in case it was tipped by a Med City player. He didn't want to have to deal with a corner kick. And Gasheki gets tripped up by Nicholas Rayliff. Med City ball and a chance to catch their breath. It looks like Aaron Wagner getting ready to come in for the Mayhem. Repetto with it, midfield. Dumps it off, now ahead to Raisler. Raisler, a long pass to Finlay Bloodworth. Good backspin, Bloodworth able to gather it in, and it one-hops its way to Jan Hofelner. Hofelner has been sure-handed all evening long. Both teams, their defense pretty mistake-free for the most part. As Duluth now walks it up. Rayliff back to Garcia Castro. Just earned that yellow card. Oh, and now Wilkinson. Clearing shot by Wilkinson, hitting a member of his own team. It was Ali Fawaz on the far side who's shaken up for a moment. As Man City gets ready for their substitution here, perhaps. Wagner. Will indeed come in. We'll see who comes out. It'll be Javier Mia heading to the sideline. Aaron Wagner coming back in.
Substitution for Med City, number 2, Aaron Wagner, in for number 16, Javier Mia.
Oh. So the monster throw was coming up here on the far side. I think that was Cordell Hill. And now he just has to walk his way in as he took out a couple of those supports on the far side. We may have our first YouTube sensation with Hill hitting the deck there. Maybe a not top 10 on SportsCenter. We'll find out. Our hopes and dreams are happening right before our very eyes here for the Med City live stream staff.
Is that 13 in for 8?
As near side Vladislav Margolin can't keep it in bounds. Claudio Repetto doing a nice job shielding the ball from all those Duluth defenders and still has it. My goodness. Repetto fought off about 5 defenders on that sequence alone. Now Raisler with a little space tries to reward Repetto, sending it forward. Hoffelner able to come out and grab it for Duluth as we cross the 87-minute mark. Still no score. We've got 3 minutes in stoppage time left in this match as Gracious Kasheki with a chance. Nifty move. Nice defense there by Wakabayashi. Boots it high towards midfield. Racing at it is Bloodworth. Nice bounce pass forward and now tipped the other way, and I don't think he's going to be able to track it down. Okay. That was Cordell Hill who couldn't quite pull that one in. It won't be a corner kick. Just shy of that is Jared Wolt. Throws it in on the corner, 88.5 minutes into this match. And Wolt, a nice long pass into a lot of traffic. Body's there. Neto got a foot on it. And it was a slow roller to Hoffelner, who hugs it like a newborn baby and then quickly sends it off to midfield. Garganaya trying to chase it down, and it trickles out of bounds. Med City time for another push or two here. Nate Levy. Will send it towards midfield. So he directs his guys up the field. And boots it right to the 50-yard line. Neto, pass up ahead. And Duluth staying conservative here, as Naya sends that one towards midfield. Wagner almost gets jerseyed as Neto, with a little bit of space, gets it back from Fawaz, and Neto has that one deflected away out of bounds. Corner kick, however, upcoming for Med City at the 90-minute mark.
Another corner kick brought to you by $5 Pizza.
Fans in attendance hoping for more than just free pizza. If Med City can score on this corner kick, sending it in, they get a piece of it, but last touch by Duluth, they hope that is indeed the call. So Med City will have a throw in from the near side. Look for Wolt to throw it out in front of the net, like about the same area as he did last time. He does that high arcing pass. And now Neto, a little too high for him, gathers it with his chest. Wagner with it, pass ahead, shot wide left.
Corner kick, 3 minutes to stop.
That was Andrew Wilkinson.
3 minutes of stoppage time as another corner kick comes, brought to you by $5 Pizza.
And no question about that one, as it was last touched by the Mayhem. So Med City, a flurry of shots here in the last 15-20 minutes. Still no score. Maybe time for one more attack as Gracious Kasheki keeps that one in the zone. Repetto, a nice pass up ahead. Francisco Neto, nifty footwork, has it poked away. Repetto charging in, tries to save it. Last touched out of bounds by Duluth. That one went off Ryan Trier. And Jared Wolt ready to throw it in again. He's got a gun of an arm. Wolt sends it out in front of the net. Bodies are there, tipped out by a Duluth defender. And the threat ends once again. Now Med City needs to get back. Far side, a lot of speed here for Duluth as they pass it backwards. Wagner there to defend and clears it out. Last touch by Raisler, out of bounds. So Duluth will throw it in. Can't be much stoppage time left. Maybe Duluth has a chance for a push unless Med City can force a turnover here. Unofficially up here, we hit 93 minutes, so we'll see when the officials whistle it off, and there it is. The whistle blows. We knew it would be defensive, and this was the ultimate defensive struggle. A 0-0 tie. Both teams will come away with 1 point in the standings from this matchup. But for Med City, they remain undefeated at home this season. 2 wins, no losses in their first tie. Now the overall record is 2-2-1, 1-2-1 in conference play as that win over Union Dubuque here in the home opener doesn't count towards the NPSL. So a hard-fought battle for Med City. A lot of chances in that second half, but they come away empty-handed with a tie tonight with Duluth. We'll take a break. We'll have a coach's interview for you in a few minutes. You're watching Med City football. Some stats from our 0-0 tie here this evening. Duluth out shooting Med City 12-11, 5-3 with shots on goal, but every shot saved this evening. A 55-44 possession advantage for Duluth. 5 corner kicks for Med City against 4 for Duluth, but 15 fouls for the very physical team from up north versus just 9 from Med City. Both teams had 2 yellow cards, and both teams come away with 1 point in the standings here this evening. We'll have Neil Cassidy after a bit for a post-game interview. You're watching Med City football.
I think we came in with a game plan that I don't think a lot of people expected. We changed some things up, I won't say last minute, but based on some scouting reports, and we gave it to the guys pretty much first hand today, and credit to them. They followed through with our game plan.
Halftime adjustments seem pretty big here too, as it was a very physical first half and you were able to get a few more chances in that second half against Duluth and poke through that defense a bit.
Yeah, we just said let's use the width of the field a little bit more. Let's when we do attack, let's attack with some numbers and let's take some chances. And I think we did that. And one of them nearly resulted in a penalty that I can't wait to see, whether it was inside or outside the box. But it's happened. So, but we did create more chances in the final third, and I think we dealt with what they threw at us at the back as well.
What do you take away from a game like this as you work towards the rest of the season, knowing that you're going to face, that's about as good as a competition as you're going to see in the NPSL, but you've got a lot of good teams in this league. So what do you take away from this moving forward?
Well, I told the guys it's a step forward. We talk about going forward, we never talk about going back. It's a small step forward. I think we deserved the 3 points, but we got one against the team that won it last year and haven't been kept to a clean sheet other than the pro team that they played. So I was pretty proud of us for that. So defensively we sorted some things out, and I think we can start going forward and looking at our attack a little bit more and working on that.
So heading into Saturday, we've had a couple losses on the road now, another road matchup. What do you need to do to get off the schneid there?
What's schneid mean?
And the losing streak. Sorry, American term.
That's all right. I think, like I said, today was a step forward. We've just got to keep going forward. We've got to keep thinking positively, and that was the message. Think positively. If something doesn't happen, that's okay. Try it again. Try it again. Support your teammates, and the guys did that. And I thought you saw today a little bit of a different team with that respect.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thanks for joining me this evening. Congrats on the step forward tonight. Med City will be back at home next Wednesday, and we hope for another at least 1 point, hopefully 3. For Nick Novotny, Chris Roberts, Frank Moline, and the rest of the Med City staff, we thank you for joining us here tonight. A 0-0 tie between Med City and Duluth. Thanks again for joining us.